Hey, hobby friends. Your old pal Bo here, the only man on YouTube with a face for radio and a voice for print. Coming at you again with another quick one. Show you the crap on my desk. And I'm working on this Sisters of Battle conversion of a Demos pattern Rhino. Um Trying to make it a little bit nicer, so I'm actually drilling out the exhaust shrouds on the vents. I kind of like that steampunk aesthetic a little bit. I mean, it's the like 41st millennium, but it has internal combustion engines with these big shrouds. I'm using a PCB drill bit. I don't know if you guys know about these, but they're actually made for cutting through circuit boards, and they're very sharp. They're also very fragile. If you drop one of these on the floor, it'll shatter. They're about like $15 on Amazon or eBay for a whole box of them. Come in different sizes, mostly metric because they're from China. But this is an El Cheapo pin vise. I picked this up from Army Painter. It's got really nice bearings, and if you use the PCB bits, they're all the same size shank shroud. I mean not shroud, post. And so if you've got the bits with the exchangeable giga, you can use the same size for all of your bits. There's no need to swap it out when you use them. I really like these a lot. They're, like I said, they're very inexpensive. Come in lots of sizes. You can also find them on eBay, like all of one size. So if you need like the half millimeter, I think, for floor wire, and you go through a lot of them, if you're pinning metal minis or larger kits, resin kits, and you use floor wire, also the same size as paper clips. You can have those. I love these. Use these a lot in my mini building and model building for any of your pinning needs, or if you're drilling out your gun barrels. If you're that guy that has to have the gun barrels drilled out, like I have on this Sister Superior here, drilled her gun barrel out. Anyway, yeah, PCB bits, like I said, like $15 a box, 15 of them, 20 of them in a box. Can't beat it. Highest possible recommendation. And again, paid for with my own money. I'm not going to recommend anything that I didn't pay for, and do the research on myself. Anyway, on to the topic. Game last night went really well. Really enjoying being back in role playing and being the game master, and allowing players to um, traipse through the twisted imagination. Um, I do still think that of the commonly available role playing games, uh, GURPS is superior to most other games in the market mechanically. You get the advantage of doing whatever you want, however you want, with rules that are fairly simple post character creation. If you have to stat out your own monsters, it can be difficult. There are a number of tutorials available online and in books. There are also a number of bestiaries available for pretty much every genre: fantasy, science fiction, modern. A lot of templates out there for setting on PCs for your spy game, superhero game, uh, hex crawler, dungeon crawler, science fantasy. There are also source books out there for Star Wars and Star Trek and a whole bunch of other IPs. Conan the Barbarian. In fact, GURPS was the first to have Conan the Barbarian. Take that, Modifius. Um, anyway, play your game. Play the game you want to play it. Um, Build your minis. Paint them the way you want to play them. I'm really enjoying this little Rhino. Thinking about kit bashing a couple of these alternate cockpits, maybe cupolas, pardon me. Do one with the hatch closed and with a little bit of Dremel work. Um, Hollow that out so that the cupola fits in very easily. The only problem I have with this kit is this hatch for the rocket launcher for the Hunter Killer missile. You have to choose if you want it right side up, if you want, because right side up is the missile, or Down is the closed hatch, I guess. So I'm thinking about doing is magnetizing the missile side of it. If I magnetize the missile right there, then I can keep it in the closed or the up position. That would be easy to do. I've got plenty of magnets. Looks like it's about a 2 or 3 millimeter. I don't know what that is in freedom units. Probably like a eighth of an inch. Mostly use metric for these because most of the readily available stuff is from Red China. It's just available and it's cheap and it's all metric. So yeah, working on that. Working on getting these sisters. I have started to prime a few of them. Got an old Metal Inquisitor here. He's primed up and ready to go. Trying to build up a sort of a inquisitorial / sisters army. I don't know how that would stat out. I don't know how that would look on paper. Sorry, Warhammer fans. But I like the big eye, the big logo. I think it's pretty great, and I'm sure I can work that into my GURPS game. If the Republic of Man were to turn into the Empire of Man, spoilers. So the game we're playing, it's based in a future galactic republic. Lots of space Romans and space Americans, and I don't know. It's just got that feel to it. I'm trying to go for something that's a little bit Space Rome meets a little bit Firefly, meets a little bit Buck Rogers, meets a little bit Judge Dredd, meets Warhammer, meets everything twisted. A shake of Paul Verhoeven, a shake of Philip Dick. And it just comes out weird, and which is really what I want. And so we've been playing on Friday nights for about anywhere between about 2.5, 3.5 hours on a session. I don't know how long a gaming session is supposed to be. You know, some people like big marathon sessions, but I think that 3 hours kind of hits that sweet spot where you leave them wanting more, and they're not bored, and there's enough to do the post-mortem on, and maybe 1 or 2 combat encounters if everybody feels like it, if they turn the right direction. They don't really have any random tables for this game. It's pretty much is just written notes and things that just come out when they come out. A lot of improv and ad lib and voice acting and improv acting and trying to bring the characters to life. And I was telling my friend Kevin about that last night. The game sort of tells me what to do, trying to create something that has both verisimilitude and believability and spontaneity. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it will anyway. Because if you're the DM and if you believe it and you will it into existence, you will your creation to life, and it's the interaction between the players and their characters and you and your NPCs that bring the game to life. So yeah. It's fun. It's fun to play a game and to bring that multimedia element to life. Try to have a analog experience over a digital media. Play over Discord, play over SteamYard, play over Skype or Zoom or whatever, but to play with physical dice and physical counters and physical and electronic books. And I've got 2 computers open when I do it. I've got my PC here with all my notes in it, and I've got my laptop here that I use to stream. And it's worked pretty well so far. It's not ideal. Ideally, I'd like to have eventually have a table with a camera on it where I can move physical minis on the table on a hex map or a ruler or whatever I say. Hey, your guide moves this far because I'm the DM and that's why. But with painted miniatures and maybe sound or I don't know, smoke effects or I don't know, lighting. But I think this game is going places, and I thank you for watching and for following along. In to sum up, PCB drill bits really awesome, come in lots of sizes from the size of a hair up to maybe a quarter of an inch, and usually so you can get a whole box of them in different sizes. They've come in like a set of small and a size of large and a size of bigger for about $15, or you can get all one size, all a half millimeter, all 1 millimeter. If you tend to break them, because you will break them if you drop it, or if you try to cut something. If you cut into too many metal minis with one, eventually you'll snap one. But they're very sharp, not just the tip, but the drill itself. It cuts into the plastic. It doesn't just push a hole into the plastic. So for drilling holes in plastic or resin, you get very precise holes. Instead of cutting into these exhaust shrouds, they do cut very sharp. Just go all the way through, and then when you feel it bite on the other side, then you know that you've cut a hole all the way, a round hole all the way through, not an S-shaped hole all the way through. And very, very nice for your detailed model building. I do like the Rhino kit. I think it's a little bit small. I know that there's some disputation over what size scale you should use for 28 millimeter heroic. I know some folks like 148 and some folks like 132. I do think 132, or pardon me, 132 is a better scale for 28 millimeter heroic. I think that for maybe a true 28 millimeter scale, 145 might be better for you bolt action players. But again, for science fiction, I don't mind if the scale is a little bigger for the tabletop, because I'm not playing war game. I'm playing a tabletop role playing game. But to compare this 135 M113 Australian variant with the Rhino, which it's clearly based on, you can clearly see the inspiration there. It's a bit bigger, but it's fine. I actually like the scale a little bit bigger, but Rhino kit, it's fun. I wish it were a little bit more detailed. It's obviously made as a game piece and not as a scale model. The Demos pattern is a little cheaper than the Mars pattern, which is really weird because it's the newer kit, and I think it's the better kit personally. So again, no freebies here, no NDAs here. I will continue to offer you my raw and unvarnished opinion regarding model kits, regarding model peripherals, regarding the game. Please, if you can, tune into the Shadow and Sun show tonight. We'll be discussing alternate realities in your game. I'm a big fan of alternate realities. I think that it appeals to both our sense of nostalgia and our imagination. It's a good way for us to cope with things like regret and poor choices, and a way to think about how things could be, might be, or might have been. So we'll talk about that more tonight on the Shadow and Sun show. This the Saturday Night Shadow Chat. So if you get a chance, tune in, and if you get a minute, you can give me a like and a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Lets me know that I'm having some real engagement, and I'll try to get back with you again. Peace.